Hey kiddies, it's Titanium Tigers here with a game, or a story game called Unnatural. Alright, so Unnatural was written in the style and theme of a TV series. Because of this, there is an advert in the middle of each episode. These adverts are parodies of actual hosted games. If you wish, you can choose to turn them off now, but I request you at least play through once with them on. I promise it will be worth your while. Sure, let's do it. Unnatural Episode 1. Here Be Monsters. Next. New York, United States of America. March 24th, 2013 at 2:30 a.m. Hey, that's pretty close to the time it actually is. Creak. The sound of your bedroom door. Creaking causes you to sit upright just in time to see your younger brother slip aside. Alexander stands still, clutching his beloved teddy. I heard a noise, he says, his voice quivering. Let's reassure him. It's just a nightmare. Go back to bed, you reply, stifling a yawn. That sucks. Alex steps back and disappears onto the landing with tears in his eyes. Soon you hear the familiar creak of the staircase. At 5 years old, Alexander was only 3 years younger, but you were never that much of a scaredy cat at his age. Considering a brief moment to get up and close the door, you decide against it and just lie back and sleep. Unfortunately, someone else had other ideas, and an ear-piercing shriek seemingly tears you from the bed. With your heart hammering in your chest, you frantically search for the owner of the scream, but only find the room empty. You let out a sigh of relief. The house is quiet, but only for a moment. In your alerted state, you clearly hear the shout and frenzied commotion that follows before the silence smothers them once again. I'm gonna make sure Alex is okay. You get up. It was your job as the oldest to look after Alex, after all, and head for the bedroom door. Pulling your door open, you step out onto the landing, glancing about and notice both your parents' and brother's doors are shut. Faint sounds emanate from downstairs. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Anyway, so that's sad. Okay. Knocking on the door, no one answers. You grip the handle and turn it slowly before pushing it open. The room is messy, as usual, but you feel a bit bitter at this fact. Your own bedroom was always neat and tidy because Mom would have said it to you. If it were ever like this, however, it was Alex's room. Yes, it's true. Oh, now where is the little creep hiding? Let's go, dear brother. You start looking about the room. Yeah, right there. Carefully approach Alex's bed. You get down on all fours. It is his favorite hiding space. You think about the times you played hide and seek with him. He always hid under the bed. No matter how many times you found him, he would always try again. It was almost as if he expected you to forget about his hiding place. Unfortunately, he's not there this time. Toy chest. You walk to the old musty toy chest. Been in your family. Okay, he's not inside. Alex still hates the darkness. Your mom always loomed the curtains open enough just for let a little bit of moonlight into the room. Briefly, you think of the nightlight gathering dust in your room. You often offered it to Alex, but he always said no. Alex hated clowns. You saw the curtain wide open. In the wardrobe, alright, Alex loves superheroes. His favorite was Spider-Man, Spooderman. In clothes, he's not there, so he's not here. Check downstairs. Okay, you sneak downstairs carefully as you can and reach the bottom without causing the dreaded fifth step down the creek. It was the bane of your younger life. Trying to creep down the stairs and take the cookie. The step would always announce your presence, and your parents would send you back to bed. Stepping away from the stairs, you feel your right foot slip. Unable to react quick enough, you hit the floor with a thump. Getting back to your feet, you try to spot where you'd slip. It was too dark to make out clearly, but you can make out a dark smear on the floor. Gingerly touching the substance with your fingers. It feels wet and viscous. Ugh. You briefly consider tasting it, but wisely decide against it. Whatever it is, its smears seems to travel away further into the house. Moonlight is pouring through the window next to the front door. Bring your hand into the light. Your fingers are covered in a red goop. Blood, maybe? You shrug it off, chuckling cautiously. Stupid imagination. Following this mirror as it trails towards the living room, you see something slumped on the floor. The closer you get, the more familiar it becomes. It almost becomes a game as your mind tries to guess what it is, and you realize it's your father. Dad! Panicking, you rush to his side, grab him, and try to shake him awake. He does not move, and you freeze. As your hands come away, smothered in the same red goop from the bottom of the stairs, you try to move away from your father, suddenly springs to life. Gripping your arms like a vice, he stares into your eyes, and you see something in them that you had never seen before. Fear. Find your brother, he hisses, as his hands tighten on your arms. Hurry, your mother will keep them busy. Get Alexander out of here. His grip loosens, and your father's hands fall away as he slumps back to the floor. Your only experience in death was... You were not there when she passed away, but you could tell Dad was dead. Standing up, staring at your father's dead body. You don't know what to do. Then you remember your dad's last words. Ignoring the nagging feeling to get the hell out of there, you burst through the living room door. Screaming, you glance around quickly, realizing that you're still in your bed. Moments later, your Aunt Ella and Uncle Tyler burst into your room, concern etched into their faces. What is wrong? Aunt Ella asked. Explain it was a nightmare. You embarrassing reveal it was just a nightmare. Your aunt fusses over you, but your uncle just places a reassuring hand on your shoulder. It takes you a while to convince them that you're okay, but they eventually leave you alone. 7 years pass since you lost your family to the honest-to-God monster. In fact, it was one of the first documented cases, commonly known to the media as K0. You don't remember much about the attack. You only recall glimpses in your nightmare. It was your aunt and uncle who offered to look after you. They both worked hard to make your life pleasant. Even without your parents, you were at least offered the chance to try and have a normal childhood. The government was content for them to assume care of you, as long as they agreed to send you to the occasional psych interview to make sure you were dealing with the trauma. It was annoying at first, but you eventually got used to it. After 2 years of them, the doctors were convinced your mental health was good enough to cease interviews. Washington, United States of America, June 14th, 2021, 3:17 p.m. The next day, you find yourself in Lincoln Memorial High School, about to take part in one of the end-of-the-year exams. Entering the classroom, you see your teacher, Miss Stone, had set the desk like she always does during tests. The boys on one side and the girls on the other. Oh, so this is where I get to pick my gender. So I can either sit by Peter O'Reilly and the other boys, or by Samantha Meadows and the other girls. Well, I am a boy, but I do like playing as females, because they are much prettier. I'm going to have to sit by Samantha. Taking your seat, you wait while Miss Stone hands out the test papers. Placing the test on your desk, you stare at the paper, waiting for the test to finally start. Okay, you have 30 minutes to answer all the questions. You may begin, Miss Stone says firmly. Instantly, the frenzied tapping of pens to papers fills the classroom with a cacophony of sound as your fellow students commence the test. Glancing at your own, you see there is a space for you to write your first name. None of these are my name. I will be Tita. Alright, let's go. I am Tita. And my surname is Tita. That's not my surname. My surname is Tita Tigers. Yeah. Alright. Neatly, you write Tita Tigers in the blank space. And then it is time to study the questions. There are 10 of them in total, and each one is harder than the last. This is what I would normally do, is answer quickly so I can leave. You quickly scribble down the answers. The bell rings and you leave the classroom. You find yourself walking home alone since your friends had other commitments today. Completely lost in your own thoughts, you walk straight into someone and are knocked right on your ass. Hearing laughter as you get back up and dust yourself off, you glance up at the two who bumped into you and suddenly curse your luck. Sarah Rogers stands before you with her three friends. You gross. She used to be one of your best friends in junior high, completely inseparable. Both of you were even on the school's soccer team together. However, you remember the day she returned from the holidays. Every time you said hi to her, she ignored you. Her gaze always averted. You could tell this much. Something hurt her. It was difficult for you to understand how she went from an athletic girl passing you the ball on the soccer field to the broad shouldered bully who made a point to put you down. Sarah had always liked action, but she had a new meanness. When you heard about her parents' divorce, it made sense, but still hurt. Hey, look, it is Tita, the dumpiest girl in the school, she says, smirking menacingly. That's me. I'm the dumpiest girl in the school. She pushes you, and you falter slightly. You look at Sarah and then at her friends. They're all tall girls who bend to her authority. She's the brutal queen of the group. You're outnumbered 4-1. It doesn't look good. It doesn't matter. I'll fight them. I'm gonna fight everybody. Dadgummit. You raise your hands to defend yourself. The group doesn't seem intimidated. You're helpless and they all gang up on you, somehow managing to stay on your feet until Sarah drives a fist into your stomach. Ooh, knocking the wind out of me. Damn straight. While you are disoriented, Sarah snatches your hair. What a bitch. Holding you up to the gazes of her gang. We'll cut off the stringy hair off. You don't admit to being the ugliest girl in school, so say it. You're an ugly little girl. Nobody likes you. Um, Part of me wants to ask her why she's doing this, and part of me wants to tell her to shove off, and part of me wants to say nothing at all. Mm. I'm going to go with ask her why she's doing this. None of your business. Why are you always so nosy? She says. Sarah punches you again. Crumpled on the floor, you hear the other kids laughing as you walk away. Eventually, you pick yourself up and make your way home. Your body aches, and you are thankful that no one of the kids hit you in the face, so you didn't want to have to explain a black eye. Alright? Your aunt and uncle reside in the suburbs, and so you have to catch a bus from the school, which is in the city, and you spot the bus waiting. Mm. Yep, there we go. You walk calmly to the bus. For a moment, you think the driver's waiting for you, but it pulls off as you get to the city. You just I'll make my own way. Psh. Follow your own route, making decisions as you go, alternating between main roads, side streets, and back alleys. You reach home without too much trouble. Laying yourself onto the house, hearing noises come from the kitchen, the tinkering of pots and pans create an awkward melody as you walk into the room, intoxicated by the sweet smell of roast dinner. Upon entering, you see your uncle sitting at the table and the latest crime novel in his hand. Your aunt is busy cooking food, which smells delicious. Ah, Tita, come and sit down. Dinner is ready, says your Aunt Elena. You're late, your Uncle Tyler says, his steely gray eyes peering over the top of his book. I missed the bus and had to walk home, you reply. Waste your hair now. Come and sit. You sit to your uncle's left, and your aunt puts food down and sits to his right. How's school today? We had a mock test. I think you did well. I found it hard. Drove past everyone. Ran a few circuits. Talked about willpower. Played soccer. And we did a mock test. So that's great news. It's good. You're enjoying school. Your parents will be happy. Thank you. Continue eating dinner. And you listen to your uncle talking about his job. He is a policeman, just like your father was, while your aunt is a housewife. Apparently, she used to be a cop as well, but gave up to look after you after your parents were killed. Still bothers you that she had given up her career for you, but she never seemed to take it out on you. Finishing your meal quickly, it reminds you of your mother's cooking. You tell your aunt that you enjoyed it, which makes her smile. Oh. Yes, it was lovely, dear, your uncle says, smiling at your aunt. Your aunt smiles at both of you. When everyone had finished their food, you notice your uncle staring at you. Even without words, you can tell he's unhappy about something. He pulls something from under the table and dumps it in front of you. Oh, shit. Your aunt didn't want me to say anything, but she found this hidden under your bed, your uncle says sternly. You look at the newspaper again. March 29th, 2013, a few days after your family's murder, one of your friends had found it in her dad's loft. You had to know what happened, but your aunt and uncle never spoke about it, no matter how many times you asked them. I had to know what happened. You never told me, you say firmly. You were older than we were older than you, Tita. We know better than you. I'm getting rid of this. If you get another one, I'll ground you till you're old enough to get a job. The harsh tone of your normally gentle uncle shocks you into silence. You decide not to argue. After all, you had already read it several times. You learn. Um, the most important thing was my family was killed by a. So these are my choices. I would say my family had to be killed probably by vampire. Yes, you still dream of vampire tore your family from you. Vivid images flashes through your mind. Even now, you can still clearly see her black dress fluttering in the breeze, coming from an open window. Her red hair swaying in the breeze as her jade eyes seem to bury themselves right into your soul. You shiver at the mere memory of it. Ask to be excused. May I be excused? Your uncle looks down at your empty plate. Yes, you may go, he says before acting softly. I know this upsets you, but we're doing this for your own good. You excuse yourself and return to your room, throwing yourself into the bed, turning over, you switch the TV on just as news report comes on. This is CBS Evening News. I'm Drumford Forbes, and here are tonight's top stories. The New York Giants extended their unbeaten run at the 11 games after winning a close encounter with the Washington Redskins. In other news, a minor zombie infestation in New Jersey was cleaned out earlier this morning. The operation lasted just under 4 hours, and 2 officers were KIA. The SRT dealt with the zombies and arrested the man responsible. Finally, a dog had been adopted by the Chicago Fire Service as the fire resulted in the death of its owners. You turn off the TV. You've been hearing a lot about this supernatural response team lately. Maybe one day they'll let you join them. For now, you try to get some sleep. You barely snatch a few hours of sleep, sounds like me. And your rest broken by flashes of nightmares, still sounds like me. After being plagued by them for ages, you quickly learned how to operate on only a couple hours of rest. Okay, this is perfectly me. Till the next morning. You get dressed into your school uniform and head downstairs to make yourself some breakfast. As you eat your cereal, Uncle Tyler comes and hands you a leaflet. Your aunt and I are aware you're having trouble at school. She disagreed with me, but I think you need to learn to protect yourself. What do you mean, Uncle? The leaflet is a permission form for you to join the school's self-defense class. You don't have to go if you don't want to, as your aunt. Just think about it. You've got the whole school day to decide. Thanks, Aunt Helena. Thanks, Uncle. You wave your goodbyes and head off to school. Thoughts dwelling on your leaflet stuffed in your bag, being able to defend yourself from Sarah and her friends would be great. I will learn how to defend myself. Yep. Man, screw exams. Gotta defend yourself. Well, that's how I was anyway in school. But anyway, after school, you make your way to the gym, self-defense classes, enter rate to learn, join the rest of the class. Head count reveals that beside yourself, another 15 students have turned up. Teacher splits you into pairs and begin training. You are paired off with a kid in the year below called Gabriella Moore. Following the teacher's instructions, you strive doing basic moves, taking turns punching and kicking mitts carried by your partner. You and Gabriella are getting more skilled and confident. Your movements become faster and more skilled. Focus on learning how to use skill instead of focus on strong offense or defense. With me, I'm more the skill person, so I'm good with that. A moment later, it is time for the class to finish. There is just one more task before you finish. You have to take part in a proper match against Gabriella. You both have been looking forward to this. It's time to finally see who's stronger. Under the teacher's watchful eye, you stand opposite Gabriella. You've been sparring with her for a month now, so you know her strengths and weaknesses just as she is aware of yours. I don't know. I don't know if I would use my skill to exploit Gabriella's weak stance or fight dirty. I'm gonna go with Yeah. Your skill lets you get through Gabriella's defenses. By the time she throws a punch, you're already crouching and sweeping her off her feet. She hits the ground hard and the match ends. You help Gabriella back at her feet. For someone who has just been beaten, she has a big smile on her face. Well done, you beat me. You nod in thanks and you start to think about showing Sarah you're putting up with her. You find Sarah where she's always. I didn't train to be. I'll just talk to her. First. Please, Sarah, I just wanted to talk, you say calmly. Sarah pauses for a moment, like she is thinking how to respond. Her sudden attack was meant to catch you by surprise, but you are easily able to predict her movements and avoid it. Stepping around her attack, you drop into a crouch and sweep Sarah off from her feet. Alright, you return the next school day a champion. The other girls seem glad you beat Sarah, as she was been getting a bit uppity and catty in addition to her plain old violent. The boys anoint you as an honorary boy for your toughness and allow you to share a table with them. You sense the teachers only vaguely disapprove. You are surprised when Sarah stops you outside of school one day. More surprising the fact that she's alone. You go to raise your fist, but Sarah stops you with a gesture. I'm not here to fight. I'm sorry I beat you up so much. I won't bother you again. Sarah's telling you the truth. You don't see her again. The next few weeks pass you by in a blur. You know Sarah has been leaving you alone. Maybe she's finally gotten tired of you. One particular day, you're in the library and you hear someone curse. You walk toward the sound and you're surprised to see Sarah sitting down with an open book. Looks like she was trying to study. Shh. Help her. Duh. You go and sit by Sarah. She seems surprised, but she still accepts your help, and together you study. In return, Sarah teaches you a few tricks to defend yourself. 2 years pass and your college entrance exams approach. Your aunt and uncle are determined for you to pass, going as far as banning you from going out until you pass. Your friends are having a party. Alright, look. I may not study, but I'm not a party goer. So, I don't mind missing the parties. You spend the night studying hard, your friends are having fun, but you are too busy learning to care. Exam time. Sitting in your seat, it is time to take college entrance exam. There are 10 questions between you and your future. Studying the test, you notice that 7 questions are worth 1 point and 3 are worth 2. Total 13 points. 3 different colleges. Test requirements: New York Technical Colleges, 10 or more, Washington College, 6 or more, New Jersey, accept any student. That's because anything is legal in Jersey. Question 1, worth 1 point. Alright. Who was the first president of the United States? General George Washington, duh. Alright. Question 2, how many meters is in a mile? I actually don't know this. What? Meters in 1 mile. What? Random answer. Charles Dixon's first. I don't know any of these, so I'm gonna go with Oliver Twist. Alright, following countries is landlocked. What? What does landlocked mean? In the middle of land. I don't know if it's. I know it's not Cuba. It's not Brazil, because Brazil is on the edge of South America. I don't think it's Colombia, but I'm not sure where Bolivia is. I think Colombia has the top zone, so I'm gonna go with Bolivia. Alaska was once part of Russia. Marlon Brando's role in The Godfather. Marlon Brando. Okay. Yen is Japan. What? I'm going with Lotus. On my way to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Each wife had 7 sacks. Each sack had 7 cats. Each cat had 7 kittens. Kitten, cat, snacks, and wives. How many were going to St. Ives? How many were going? 1. It's because it's just me. Who was told, beware of the Ides of March? Julius, right? Don't believe it was Julius. You received a letter. You were shocked to see you got 8 points. Washington College. Let's go. to save. Should you die during the next episode, you will be returned to this point. Please note this only applies to current session. Alright, let's go. Today, episode was brought to you by Gem D Zombie Gone. Our first unnatural zombie word. You have to be dead not to buy it. Alright, I'm gonna stop this right here. Alright, college isn't starting until the holidays, and you have a bit. Alright. Well, you know, it's Titanium Tigers. And this has been Unnatural, and this is really fun. I'm enjoying this. It's really long, I realize that, but, you know, I have to read it, so yeah. So, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you around. Bye, kids.